You know, it's been said that a young person's mind's a lot like a coconut. Just a little bit hairy, thick hull. But you know, once you get inside, there's a lot of good stuff. Hello, I'm Robert Lewis, and this is a film of vehicle safety for adolescents. Do you know there's more adolescents killed in vehicle accidents than any one thing in the United States? In fact, it's responsible for 44% of the deaths in the United States. My family, like many others, has went through this tragedy. 2 teenagers in my family have died in motor vehicle accidents. Neither one of them was wearing a seatbelt. Both of these lives could have possibly been saved if they would have just done that one simple thing. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration in 2004, 3,620 drivers aged 15 to 20 were killed. An additional 303,000 were injured in motor vehicle accidents. Almost 8,000 drivers were involved in fatal crashes during that time frame. Let's talk a little bit about driving in inclement weather. I'm going to take you through as many things as I can to try to prepare you for the experiences you're going to face on the roadways. Driving in rain is just an unavoidable part of life. Driving in rain, it causes several problems. It reduces the visibility. You don't see as well. There's less predictability in the way your vehicle handles on the road. It's not as reliable. It doesn't stop as quick. It doesn't go as quick. It doesn't turn as quick. The vehicle tires need the traction between the dry surface of the road and the tires to handle at their optimum level. Whenever there's any snow or ice, the situation just gets worse, particularly when you start getting around intersections and exit ramps and entrance ramps, because at these locations, vehicles stop and they have a tendency to lose part of the vehicle fluid, which is made from oil. When you have a slight rain, the water simply mixes with the oil and makes for a slippery mix. It hurts all your traction all the way around. When you get so much water underneath your tires, the treads of the tires have channels in them. These channels have to funnel the water out away from the tires to hold traction. Once you get to the point in water where the tire can no longer displace that water to the outside and away from the tire, the water actually picks the car up just a fraction of an inch, but it's actually all the way off the surface of the road. This is called hydroplaning. When this happens, you've pretty much lost control of your vehicle. The best thing you can do in inclement weather conditions in the rain is slow down. If your vehicle starts to hydroplane, if you feel that disconnect, don't stomp on your brakes very quickly, because you may lose control in that. Slow down. Certainly slow down with your brakes, but don't slam them right on. You'll have that, as soon as the tire slows down just a little bit, it'll start displacing the water again and you'll reconnect to the road surface. Until then, you are going to find a little bit of disconnect if you hydroplane. There again, the best advice is just simply drive slower. The faster you move, the The faster you go in a vehicle, the more water has to be displaced by that tire. The slower you go, the less water has to be displaced. So it's a much less chance of hydroplane. Whenever, it's a good advice, whenever you have to turn your windshield wipers on, to also turn on your headlights. People can see you much better in inclement weather. Also, you must remember it takes twice as far for you to stop. That road surface is now wet, it's slippery. And depending on how cold it is, it may take up to 10 times the available space to stop your vehicle as it does under a dry condition. Another thing I wanted to point out to you today is when your vehicle gets stuck. Do not ever put a wooden board under your car tire to get unstuck. When you have a vehicle and you put a board under that tire in attempts to get unstuck and go forward, that turns into a projectile. They simply, tires rotate, grabs hold of your board, and sends it going. Who's ever back there going to have a bad day. Let's talk a little bit about tires. The wear of your tire, very simply, can be measured by a penny. Take your penny, put it in the tread of the tire, in the channel. If you can see President Lincoln's head, your tire is too worn to be on the road. The tread should be thick enough that it should cover up the top of the head of that penny. If it does not, you need to consider replacing your tire. Incorrect tire balance, or tire pressure rather, is a big safety issue. If your tires are underinflated, it causes extra friction on the road. The extra friction makes heat. So as you're going down the road on an underinflated tire, the friction builds up on the sides where the tire normally doesn't touch the road. It overheats and it blows out. Once you have a blowout, it's a scary situation. There again, don't panic. The tire that is flat, because it's flat, will start to slow you down. If you stomp the brakes too hard, too quick, all the motion is going to go forward in your car and toward the blowout. When it does, your car is going to dip to a corner and you're going to lose control. Be sure to look at your tire inflation about once a month. Check your tire pressure when it's cold, when you have the most accurate reading on your gauge. Around schools is always an important issue. As you get your license, you drive, when you go around schools, first of all, leave just a little bit early. Get to school 5 or 10 minutes early. Beat the rush so you're not in the middle of the mad rush of traffic. Watch out for crosswalks. Watch out for crossing guards and their signs as well. A lot of times people will cross that road, children, even adults, they would not look both ways. If they see that guard sign up, they go right across, they'll run right in front of you. They're not looking for you. You're in a vehicle, you're required to look for them. Around buses, be extra careful, go slow, watch for kids getting off, getting on. When you're on school property, most schools have speed limits. Some are as low as 5 miles an hour. You are expected to adhere to this or you'll get into an accident. Never leave valuables or wallets, electronic equipment, expensive clothes, where they can be seen inside your vehicle. It invites break-ins. Save yourself the trouble. Always stop for buses when the lights are flashing, and never park in fire lanes around a school that would block the way of a fire truck or an emergency vehicle that would have to come in. When you leave school, always wear your seatbelt and watch for any personnel that's directing traffic. Think before you go. While driving around in town and country, avoid turning left across busy intersections that do not have turn signals, that don't have a turn light. When you first start out as a young driver, you have to learn how to gauge the movement of traffic and how fast it's going. If you're having to do that without the benefit of a turn signal, you'd simply be better off to go down to the next intersection where there is one and turn across traffic that way. Watch out for overly aggressive drivers. Stay clear of them, stay out of their way, don't become one. If the road becomes obstructed, just because it's obstructed, it does not give you the right of way to drive down on the opposite side of the road to clear the obstruction that you're now in to go on your merry way. You might have to be patient. You might have to wait a while. While driving in the country, pay particular attention to wild animals, particularly around dusk and dawn. Deer and other wild animals that travel in groups like to move around this time. They'll cross a road right in front of you. If you start to see them, slow down, start blinking your lights several times. Be aware that they're there, from small animals to large, and they'll dart right out in front of a vehicle. A large animal like a deer can do a lot of damage. It can come right through the windshield on you. So don't play games with them. That is, it come through the windshield if you hit it, possibility. Stinging insects in the country. There was a case just last week, in fact, in the state just north of us, where teenagers left the high school. Several of them got in the back of a pickup truck, which was the wrong thing to do. There's obviously no seat belts there. The driver encountered a wasp. Instead of stopping and removing the wasp, he just started swatting at it as it went down the road. Lost control, overturned. A lot of people went to the hospital. If you encounter a stinging insect, take your vehicle, move it on the side of the road, then you can remove it. Don't try to kill it while you're driving. Okay, let's talk about what to carry in your vehicle. The American Automobile Association took a survey of 1,500 drivers. 28% had at least one vehicle breakdown within the past 12 months. Some of the good ideas, things to carry in your vehicle, is a cell phone, of course, a can or two of tire sealant. This quick fix item can get you rolling again in just minutes. It will only plug up and inflate a very small puncture in your tire. You still need a spare tire, a jack, and a tire iron. Have some vehicle fluids handy. If you lose the vehicle fluids in your car while you're out, they run dry, you can have enough to get it to a repair shop. You may consider a basic tool kit. This is of particular benefit if you have an older vehicle. And it's a benefit if you have just a minor problem like a battery cable that's loose to get you going again. Mini battery can be good, which would help start your vehicle, or a pair of jumper cables would be good to keep in your car. If the car becomes disabled, try to move your car off the right of the road, preferably in a lighted area.